Tonight we have a very special guest. Frankie Delgado is live in our studio. Stick around, you're not going to want to miss it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up?
All right, everyone, welcome to the Hills After Show. I am your host, Lauren Pacheco, and tonight we have a very special show. But first, I'm going to introduce my co-host. We have Rivette Soro. She's Lauren Conrad's #1 fan forever and ever. And we have Eric Sinsley. He's a huge reality show junkie.
How we doing, guys?
Good. I am doing good. And we have Jennifer Lopez, who is still shipping Audrina and Justin.
Yes. That's rough. I know.
But bigger than all of this, we have with us Frankie Delgado. Woohoo!
What's up?
Frankie!
What up, what up?
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have a lot to talk about later. But first, we're going to get into tonight's show, which you hosted a Friendsgiving on tonight's episode.
I did.
So it's kind of nice that you're here tonight because this is cool.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm here to give you all the details.
Yes.
All right.
So excited.
There's some other things we're going to talk about. We have some news about Brody and Caitlin. There was a Friendsgiving tonight, and then Brody and Stephanie get into a huge fight that we're going to talk about later. So what about tonight's episode, guys? How do you feel about it?
Can't wait. I love a good Friendsgiving. I honestly love this episode. Just when everybody's under the same roof. Like, I know something's going to happen and we're just going to live for it. And there's like a lot of sweet moments. Like we saw Frankie. I loved you did a little monologue tonight. It was really nice. It touched me. But then there's a lot of drama too. It did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was great. I love tonight's episode.
Yeah, I too would say Friendsgiving for me was probably the pinnacle of the episode just because I don't have family here and we have Friendsgiving every year, so that was awesome to see.
All right.
Yeah, you definitely take those moments for granted because, you know, like you said, when you don't have family here, and like Frankie said, friends are your family. So,
Totally.
you know, so they become your family and you get to spend them with them and stuff.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah. All right. Okay, but before we get into the Friendsgiving, we are going to talk about Stephanie and Brody's fight that actually wasn't caught on camera, but there was a lot of talk about it in tonight's episode. And Frankie, you were there for this fight.
I caught it all right here.
Can you tell us any more details about what went down?
Yeah, they didn't really explain it, huh? The show?
No, not at all.
I don't think I'm a good... I didn't have the right explanation for it. But when Spencer was asking me about what happened, I was just trying to be like... I was trying to not cause problems that day because it was Friendsgiving and I didn't want to just throw it all out there like how bad it was. But it was pretty bad.
Wow.
It was pretty bad. It was one of those days where, Brody had just come from a really, really tough place. The fires really, they really messed with his head. Like it was, of course. I mean, it looked like Armageddon out there.
Yeah.
He was literally by himself in the middle of the fires. He was FaceTiming during the fires, and I would see what was going on until the point where like he had no more service at his house because everything went off. So for Stephanie, we heard what she said in Vegas, and I mean, on her behalf, like she had a bunch of drinks by then. So we're in Vegas. We were taking a lot of tequila shots. There was a lot of drama going on already. So I think that she was just like, I'm over it, no more. And then Audrina went and kind of told Brody at the wrong time when Brody was kind of like his first day off. It was his first day back from the fires. So it was the first time he came out of Malibu.
Oh, gosh.
Because it was blocked to get in and out from Malibu was blocked. So his first day he could step out, and so he stepped out, and I'm obviously as the party friend, a good friend, I was like, hey, let's take a drink or two or three. Let's get your stress level down. Let's have a good time tonight. But that was at the same time with what Audrina telling her what Stephanie said. So that kind of made Brody really angry because he's literally fighting for his life. That was completely like one of the most realist episodes when you see him in the middle and like the fires are around him, and like I was actually really worried for him because at some point it could have just trapped him.
Yeah.
You know, and I had just watched that movie with Miles Teller where he survives the fires, like a movie about the fires.
Oh, yeah.
And wow, it was just, to me it was like, wow, my boy can really like die up here, like,
Yeah.
he should have left. What is he doing? Why is he protect? Like the house is replaceable, your life is not. But he got obviously he's okay, and his house was okay, and that just led to an explosion of Brody and her, and to like, I've never seen him more angry in his life, and I think I know why he was that angry. So I was like, in a way where like I was like, Steph, you said the wrong things. They should have never related those words to Brody, especially the day after he like comes back into town. Like, a lot of bad things happen. Like, you don't instigate more fire, right? At that point, and they did.
Well, don't you think Audrina was kind of trying to, because she was upset with Stephanie?
Yeah, she wanted to have some people on her side and on her back, probably.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened. But yeah, once we got to that after party at that house, my boy Nick Montalegre's house, it just.
And is that where the fight broke out?
That's where the fight broke out.
And production just wasn't shooting, or they didn't go back to the house?
It was done. We were done. It was like it was late.
Okay.
It was like after hours of like the after hours.
Okay.
Like we had already. Everybody was supposed to go home. And,
Okay.
And I was with Brody, just kind of like.
Right.
Kept it going, like
Yeah,
what we usually do.
Of course. Of course.
And at some point, Audrina was like, "Oh, let's go to this little thing, like my friend Nick's doing." And then when we got there, it was just Nick, Steph, and Justin. Me and Brody. So that's when, like, the first time they had seen each other since Audrina told them that night. So it was like,
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
Okay.
But Audrina wasn't at the party, though.
she was.
She was there, too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So she saw it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
What?
T.
Crazy.
We didn't hear that in that episode. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. That's why I said maybe we didn't explain it right. But yeah, it was a very
Was
tough.
Stephanie, like, crying? Or, I mean, he was, like, exploding on her. Was she just standing there, like, okay?
No. It was a back and forth rant. It was.
Okay. Because it was portrayed to us like it was pretty much all Brody.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost just like Stephanie was just standing there taking it.
She
not
very
really
much
saying anything.
victimized herself.
Have you ever seen Stephanie just stay there and not say something?
Exactly.
No.
No.
And I don't
You have
think.
a point.
Yeah, I don't like how
But-
Stephanie.
In all fairness, we should never. That should never get to that point, regardless.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
When Stephanie mentioned to Spencer and Heidi, she told them about it at Thanksgiving. And I just think it was so tasteless. Like, it's Thanksgiving, you're finally with your brother and your sister-in-law. It's a big moment. And she brings about
jumped
this
right into
negative
that.
energy.
Yeah.
It's the first thing she said. And it's like, calm down. Like, there's a time and place for everything.
Right.
And I just think she chose a bad time to tell her brother about that.
Or just even bring it up at any moment, like just forget about it, you know. She's always saying that she doesn't want drama and that she just wants to get along with everybody, but then again she keeps bringing up the old issues, and you know, it just they never settled. So.
I do think you need to vent, but again, there's like a time and place for everything.
But at the same time, once again, like when you're there and it's happening, and this is the next time you see your brother, and this is the first time they see each other, I don't. That's why I kind of like when they explained it, like I'm at a Friendsgiving at my house. I'm not gonna let this happen, and me like throw more gas into the fire.
Yeah.
Right.
I also thought it was pretty foul of Justin Bobby to even put the words out in the universe. Well, he didn't get physical with her. It's like,
Right.
you know,
Like, I wasn't thinking that he did.
No, I don't
Why
think
did
any
you
of
say
us were.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there's that definitely not happened.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
We figured.
Yeah.
So, but
I didn't even think of that until Justin Bobby
Right.
mentioned it.
right.
Okay, well, we're going to get more into the Friendsgiving, but let's talk a little bit about Brandon's relationship. He opened up tonight about his relationship with his dad and how he hasn't talked to him in about a year, he said.
Yeah.
And then Mischa was also kind of touching because she went to your Friendsgiving and wasn't with her family, that they had kind of been apart. And you said something on the episode about that.
Yeah, I didn't. You know what, man? I felt so bad when I said that because I didn't know nothing about her family and her not being in touch or anything. So I was genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, was asking like, hey, are you going to be with your family? What's going on? And she was like, why did you go there? Kind of like, and I felt bad. But
it seemed like it played out nicely though on the episode.
Yeah.
Well,
You were just saying like family's important. And
I as soon as I caught myself and I was like, damn, I really have to backtrack and make it nice and sweet for her because Thanksgiving is a very important holiday and and I think that it's a very it's a family holiday and to me I felt bad.
Yeah.
When I think eventually her heart felt warm, that the majority of the cast, it seemed like, kind of bonded over the fact that they had this estranged relationship, or if they haven't seen their family in a while, either way, that they were all together. And, you know, I think maybe she felt more comfortable by the end of the night, you know, just knowing that she's not the only one in somewhat of a similar position.
Yeah.
And I related to what you said. It was during your one-on-one. It wasn't when you were talking directly to her. But you said, you know, family is everything, and obviously we fight and we argue, but at the end of the day, we're not going to let anything escalate to that point. I feel the same way about my family personally. I mean, we're very close. Yes, sometimes I want to strangle them. That's normal. But we've never let it escalate to that point, and it is really sad seeing other families have that estranged relationship, and it, you know, I just hope the best for them.
Yeah, I think that I've learned from that. I didn't just magically know hey, this is how it is. I had a really tough time with my sister back in the day when I first moved out here, and she stayed in Tijuana, and she met a man and at that time a boy, and then they got married really quickly, and I had never even met him.
Wow.
So I don't show up to the wedding because I've never met him. I was so mad, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go to the wedding. I was like, how are you gonna marry someone? I was so close to her. I'm like, how are you gonna marry someone I've never met in my life?
Right.
And I regret it every day since that day. I wish I would have gone. I wish I would have put my ego to the side and put my feelings in a box and said, hey, I'm gonna go there, be there for you, and share that moment with you. But I missed it because of a fight, because of something like this.
Right.
So ever since then, I'm like, yo, it doesn't matter how bad of a fight it was. When it's the holiday, when it's the birthday, you gotta reach out. You gotta just say it, and it doesn't matter, because you never know when the next time you're gonna see them again, and you know, so many things could have gone wrong in my life that I've been blessed and thankful for every single moment I live. So yeah.
And I think as hard as it may have been for you guys to open up about this family Thanksgiving stuff on TV, I think it could help viewers at home who are, I'm sure there are many of them who have been through similar situations, and maybe make them feel not so alone, and maybe help them maybe resolve things or reconcile. So I think there can definitely be some good that can come from it.
Yeah, I think that's the reason I got married. And at a younger age, why I wanted to have a relationship. I think on my first date, I'm like, yo, do you want to have kids? And she was so freaked out because I said that. But I'm like, yo, I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm like, if you don't want to have kids, I don't want to date you. That simple. But I wanted to have kids because I think I wanted to have a family really quickly because I was so lonely out here. I didn't really have anyone. My parents were in Tijuana. My sister was in Tijuana. All my cousins, my uncles, and Mexican families. They're and I was out here by myself. But I was trying to come up here to give them a better lifestyle out there.
Right.
But I felt like I sacrificed enough to the point where I was like, oh, no more. I need to build my own family and not feel lonely.
Right.
But I like you said, LA is a lonely place when you don't have family out here. So your friends are your family.
Yes.
And that's why you do Friendsgiving, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. All right. We'll touch a little bit on Brandon's relationship with his dad. He just kind of expressed in tonight's episode that they hadn't talked for about a year. And then he also said something about his dad who was going to get married, and then that they canceled the wedding.
Yeah, that was a little bit confusing to me. I don't know what your take on that was, but he was the wedding was canceled because they're not together anymore? Or?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I got. So I don't know if his dad had called him to like come and help him out. I was a little tiny bit confused, but
I'm not sure. What I took from that scene was that I think what Linda Thompson had said about reconciling and everything that Brody and Brandon have gone through, I think what I took from it was that it gave him kind of the push. Maybe I should reach out to my dad. Maybe I'll write a letter. So I don't really recall the wedding part, but that's what I took from it.
Yeah.
My main thing from that scene was Linda always seems to be the voice of reason.
Mm-hmm.
Every time she's on the screen, I feel like I learned so much about her and I like her so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really knew much about her before, but she really drops some words of wisdom. And I think she's done a great job. From what Brody tells us, on screen, he was never really close to his father, and neither was Brandon. But I think she did a great job in raising two men,
definitely.
Yeah.
Mama Linda.
Yeah.
She's the best.
Oh.
And I like
way.
that she also said, you never want to hold people, hold any grudges towards anybody, because life is too short. And she's right, whatever, strains that you have with your family, you just kind of want to like break them down. Because like you said, you never know what's going to happen. What if that's the last time you see them and, you have that grudge and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some heavy stuff.
We're going to get past that now. Friendsgiving. Frankie threw a Friendsgiving at his house. Justin, Bobby, we still say Bobby, brought a random blonde girl named Lindsay.
Yeah.
And Stephanie and Audrina got in a fight in your kitchen.
Yes. So much happens, man, with this crew, with this squad. Friendsgiving was dope. I invited everybody, but some people had their own plans or their own why they didn't want to be there. Mm-hmm. But the ones that got there, like Justin Robert Brescia. That's where the Bobby comes from, by the way, guys.
Robert,
His name is actually Justin Robert. So now y'all know it wasn't just a made-up name. It's Justin Robert Brescia.
Thank you.
And so Justin Robert, he brings in this new female. Beautiful lady, right?
Yes.
And Audrina gets in a panic. Yeah.
Yeah, she said, serving boobs on a platter.
I was not there for that.
And then Jason walked in and said something a little more.
She was wearing a very low-cut shirt.
Okay, so I haven't seen the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so you don't know what was cut in and cut out.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just knew that my wife came to me later on and she goes, "Oh my God, like everybody's making comments on these things." But like, if you got him, flaunt him. It is what it is. Like, hey, do your thing.
I don't know. Friendsgiving was a funny place to wear a top like that, but maybe that's what she likes to wear, and maybe that's the only type of clothes that she has.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Like, I'm not gonna tell. Like, if I want to wear like shorts to Thanksgiving, like I'm gonna wear shorts to Thanksgiving.
You actually wore a very nice jacket.
Yeah, but with my stretchy pants. I wore my stretchy pants.
Did the tequila come out?
Yes.
Absolutely. Spencer was there, and I was there. Spencer brought 2 really beautiful bottles of red wine, by the way. That red vino was unbelievable that he brought. He brought bottles of Jordan, which was... I always tell him that Friendsgiving, man.
I can still taste it.
Yeah, I can still taste it. And
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, did you know that Lindsay was coming?
No, Justin moves in mysterious ways.
Okay.
Wow.
He is the mystery man. You never know what you're gonna get with him. Literally. Like, I don't know if he's gonna answer. Like, I could call him today 10 times and he won't answer me, and tomorrow he'd call me tomorrow and I'll be like, "Hey, what's up, man? How are you?" Like, I just never know how to get in touch with him.
Yeah.
You have to send smoke signals, and the guy's literally like, I see him at special occasions, or he'll show up to my club and I'm like walking in and suddenly he's like at the bar. I'm like, "Yo, bro, hello, text me that you're coming so I can we can hang."
Yeah.
He's like, "I didn't want to bother you, man. I'm just chilling here at the bar." I'm like, "Okay."
He kind of just seems like a free spirit.
Yeah.
He goes with the wind, like
Yeah.
whatever. So I admire that from him, but I could never be like that.
Yeah.
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 I need I need my friends and my security around me.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Definitely. Okay, so on screen, Stephanie seemed very chill that he brought another girl.
Because there's nothing going on.
There's nothing going on.
No. He's told us. She's told us.
Yes, they have told us. It's just questionable sometimes.
So I'm not going to go question my friends when they specifically said to me, we are not hooking up.
I don't think maybe they were hooking up, but they had a very flirtatious friendship.
I don't even think that. I think they had a real friend. That's what a friend does. You lift them up, right? So if she looked pretty today, you say, hey, you look really pretty today.
He had a slight crush on her. He even said at some points, he was like, Stephanie's really good looking. Like,
Yeah.
But that's what I say that about my friends. I said that about, like, when I see my boys come out and they look good, I'm like, yo, bro, you look good tonight.
That's a good friend. You're a good friend.
Okay.
Y'all not hear me on that Vegas episode?
What about?
They're doing like little memes of like, oh, I wish I had a friend like Frankie to like lift me up, like, because I was saying like, yo, bro, your eyes, like, you're the ladies man. Hey, girl, one's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Right?
You are the best hype man.
But I've been known for that. I like to, like, if you see one of my boys or one of my girls like around me, and you like a person, just let me know. I got you. I'll make you look like $1 million.
Yes.
They did walk out of the club together. Now it could have been how it was cut. It could have been.
He was at her apartment by themselves, right?
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's a scene or episode where they're by themselves
right
in an
when she
apartment.
But I mean, historically, when you're partying in Vegas after like tequila all night and you're leaving at 4 a.m. with the person of the opposite
And they like
sex,
snuck away together.
It's a very long walk. It's a very long walk from there to the room, by the way. A lot of things could distract you.
So he was being a gentleman and maybe walking her to her room.
Or not. Or maybe
not.
to the gambling tables where they didn't let us shoot, per se, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Or
makes sense.
Or maybe they went to go get a milkshake. Who knows?
Yeah.
And they shared straws, right?
Yeah. Or some like pizza.
Would you guys like to... Let me rephrase that. Would you guys prefer Justin and Stephanie to be together over Audrina and Justin?
Absolutely
No.
No?
I don't really think any of us are a big fan of Stephanie. I would say.
Yeah.
She is the funniest person alive.
She is? Why don't they show things like that on
She is
the show?
very funny. She is... I mean, to me, funny sometimes is when they speak the truth and they just...
Pretty blunt.
Whatever they gotta say,
Yeah.
but she is really funny. She is a good friend to me. To me, she's one of those. I root for her. I hope everything goes well for her and Spencer, and they fix everything that's gone through.
Right. Okay, so then when Stephanie and Audrina had a fight in your kitchen, could anyone hear it?
I had no idea that happened until
Really?
until my wife today I know that because that day after that was going on, I was already like drinking tequila. I was giving everybody tequila shots outside. What happened inside, I didn't know until like when everybody left. Jen told me, my wife told me, and she was like, "Yo, by the way, there was like a big fight between them." I was like, "Oh, what happened?" And she kind of said that there was some yelling, and till then I haven't seen what happened. So you guys can fill me in on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it ended. The episode ended, and Audrina opens your door, and she goes outside, or as she's outside, she says, "We're over. This is over." Right? I mean, there's no more friendship.
Oh, I saw that on the clip, but I thought that was about Justin and her.
No, that was her and Stephanie.
Oh, that's her and
She called
Stephanie.
Stephanie was expecting an apology because
Yes.
the fact that Justin brought a girl, she said, "See, we're not hooking up."
By the way, how would you feel about that? Okay, if you're getting accused and all this stuff, like, and nothing really happened, and you're like, I'm innocent, and you're like pointing fingers at me. Your friend was talking shit about me. What's her name? Joey. Justin says nothing happened, and they keep bringing it up against them. I would be annoyed. I'd be like, "Yo, you owe me an apology for accusing me of something I never did. I would never do that to you." She goes, "I would never do that to you in real life."
I mean, I would apologize on behalf of my friend Joey, but we never really saw Audrina.
But you hear it all behind.
But did
behind
we hear it
Stephanie's
come
back?
out of her mouth saying they're hooking up? I think.
I think Audrina was more hurt too because she loves Justin, and one of her good friends, Stephanie, was like hanging out with him all the time, one-on-one. I wouldn't be cool with that.
Maybe. What if she's trying to hook her up? What if she's trying to like speak good words about
She
Audrina?
wasn't though.
I don't think that was what was happening.
So what's going on then? What do you guys? I think that's what's happening.
I think Stephanie is not a good friend for hanging out one-on-one all the time with a boy with who Audrina is in love with, obviously.
Yeah. There's so much history there, and this friendship that just blossomed. I don't know if they were ever close before, but we never really saw that play out on screen. Maybe you can tell us. But it sort of just was random, like out of nowhere. Like, she's just like so close to Justin.
They don't show how close me and Brandon are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Till now, they haven't showed like our relationship. But
I think also too, we saw Audrina and Justin's friendship blossom for so many years, and then all of a sudden he just kind of was like, he hung out with her for a little bit, and all of a sudden it was just all about Stephanie. So I think Audrina just took it really bad and was like, what is going on here? And then at the last dinner that they had, or 5-minute dinner that they had, he was just kind of like, yeah, I agree, we shouldn't be friends anymore. He quickly walked away. So
But there's probably a reason for that, right? Maybe he didn't want to deal with the divorce stuff. She has a kid. Maybe it was a little overwhelming. It's happened to guys in the past where like they go through it and it's overwhelming.
I did respect that he did say in the episode,
And
like,
he's telling
I don't
her.
want to deal with that, which I respect, but I think he also does lead her on a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, he'll say things, but then...
I feel bad that Audrina. I say it right. I've told them like, hey, listen, Justin, just tell her what the truth, like how you feel, and then she'll at least can end it.
Yeah.
Right.
Get it.
Yeah.
And I see where you're coming from. He like strings her along a little bit because he doesn't want to lose her completely, but. The man wants options, maybe.
So that makes sense then when she said we should stop being friends. Part of her wanted him to fight for her, but he said, I agree. So maybe he didn't want to be the one to cut the cord, and he gave that option to her, and then he agreed.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But so you guys are team Audrina Justin to get back together.
I'm Team Audrina
No,
all the
we're
way.
just Team Audrina. She might be Team Audrina and
I'm
Justin.
Team Audrina and Justin all the way.
All the
All the way.
I'm over Justin.
I'm over him.
You're over Justin.
Yeah.
Over him.
You got a new girl on the show, and that you're over him. Let him
We'll
live,
see what happens
girls.
next week.
It's tortured her for too long.
This emotional roller coaster, it's just too much. We're getting off.
Yes.
Have you guys met him?
No. Watch, we love him, huh?
He
I
is.
loved him before, but
Yeah.
now it's too much.
Oh, I get it, but
It's like we're protective over our girl Audrina, who we've never met, but we've been watching since we were in like middle school,
Audrina is awesome. Honestly, she's so sweet. She's a very sweet girl, and so is Justin. He's a very sweet guy, but like you gotta just kind of like he's misunderstood.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I'm gonna say. He's misunderstood. You guys should have him in here, and you guys should talk to
We
him.
need to have
Get him
him
in
in
would
here.
love to.
Yes.
I do see though, like Audrina needs to know what she's dealing with when she's with Justin. She knows the type of guy he is. He's very like floaty, he's all over the place, and she should know that by now.
That's
so I do get that.
that's my point. Like
Yeah.
the guy is just being himself, and she is expecting something else from him.
Right.
So hopefully we in the future you never know.
Right.
You never know.
Okay. Okay,
So
let's
much.
get into some news with Eric.
Let's do it. All right, guys. So most of you have already probably heard Brody Jenner and Caitlyn Carter did split just after 1 year of marriage. According to E! News, celebrity reps put out a statement. Brody Jenner and Caitlyn Carter have decided to amicably separate. They love and respect one another and know that this is the best decision for their relationship moving forward. Now, apparently, Caitlyn did already move out of their Malibu house. They have allegedly been having issues for a while, and they never really trusted one another for whatever reason. Apparently, they had broken up prior, and Caitlyn supposedly pressured Brody back into getting back together. A source told E! News that he betrayed her many times while being out, and also that Caitlyn was also no angel and has betrayed his trust as well. Now, an interesting fact, that is all over the internet is that they were not legally married. But they did exchange vows in Indonesia. I don't know if you can comment on that. Go ahead.
I wasn't there. They didn't invite me.
I know.
We did see that play out on screen. Sorry.
Now, fast forward to this past Sunday. Brody was out in Vegas at a nightclub around 3 a.m. on a Sunday, like I said, with 2 brunettes. And he was supposedly happy and flirting and drinking. My thoughts are, they had a breakup. I wasn't surprised just because of the way he spoke openly in the show about not wanting children, at least right away, and I felt the pressure from her towards him. Frankie, do you have any thoughts? Can you say anything?
It's been a known fact that Brody doesn't want kids. So that's that. The only thought I have about it is they do love each other.
Of course.
And they care about each other very much, and they have always been best friends. So they've been best friends, and that's not going to change, I don't think.
Okay.
But season 2, you can get all the details.
Awesome.
Yes.
And our hearts go out to both of them. We're rooting for both of you. Mr. Frankie, what is your advice on making a relationship last in this crazy world of reality TV and just being in LA in general? Any special tips? Okay, yeah, I do have a special tip. The woman is always right.
Yes.
There you go.
So you want to win? You want to stay in the relationship? Like, hey, yeah. Like, even if she fucked up. Can I say that?
Well, you just
Totally.
you said it.
AfterBuzz. The girl's always right. That just saves you a lot of arguments, even when you know you're right, and even she's right.
Okay.
That's one. 2
All right.
is
I love
this down.
2 is to always just you have to be happy with yourself before anything. So I think that a lot of people is like, you're not making me happy anymore, right? And I don't think that's necessarily how it's supposed to be. I think you have to find your happiness on your own, and you're happy on your own, and we then can be happy together, right? We have our own worlds. Know how to make yourself happy, and that's one thing of me and my wife that we've talked about a lot of times is like, hey, I like to do these things. I like to play basketball. I like to be out and about. I like to party. I like to have fun. Obviously, respectfully, but I like to do that. And by the way, I love to be with my kids all day long. Like, even though you see me at night partying, you see me with my kids all day long. That's what people. That's the part that people kind of like miss out on. Because I'm like. Every day I wake up with them. I party with them. I actually do party with them more than anyone else because I go to so many birthday parties, so many kid birthday parties. I had 3 on Saturday.
Oh my God.
And I'm at all of them, and I'm a rock star dad when it comes to that because I want to party with them, and I want my daughter to have a good time, my little boy too.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so you have to bring your own happiness to the table, and if you're not happy on your own, like why would like. You can't put that pressure on me. You can't put that pressure on the other, on your soulmate per se. That's on you. You gotta figure out how to be happy, and then we can enjoy our life together, happy. So I think that's where it all starts.
Okay.
Very true.
Right.
Some words of wisdom.
Well said.
Yes.
Before we move on, I actually want to thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. If you are watching us on YouTube, please, please, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. If you're listening on iTunes, give us 5 stars. But no matter where you are, please don't forget to comment. We love when you get involved in the conversation. We have so much to talk about, and we love when you join us. And thank you for letting us do what we love to do. Thank you for tuning in every week. Thank you for being in the live chat. And yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so Frankie, we have a few questions for you. I know we're kind of getting down on the time right now, but okay. My first question is, are you excited to be back on TV? Congratulations, by the way, that season 2 is happening.
Yes.
Are you excited for that?
More money.
Yeah!
That's awesome. Yes.
Okay,
No. It's not even about the money. I love doing the show because I get to have that camaraderie with all my friends. MTV treats us so good. They invite us to all these events and being at the award shows, and it's so cool being part of this like platform of the Hills. That it's just, we're gonna go down as like being on a show that was like iconic.
Yeah.
Right. So
definitely.
to me, I'm excited that we got a second season. Hopefully, we go for 10 seasons, 14 seasons, like the Kardashians. Right.
Yeah,
There you go.
They're doing it right.
And it must
they
feel
are.
nice to be the guy that everyone loves. Nobody
Yes.
doesn't like Frankie Delgado.
Who doesn't love Frankie Delgado?
You're the voice of reason on the
Yes,
show.
you
You
are.
really are.
I got some haters out there.
No.
Yeah. We
Well, you don't
got
have haters
them.
here. Definitely not here.
I hope so, but I hope I don't have haters here. But I definitely got some haters out there, and it's all good.
That means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, y'all keep drinking your haterade.
Yep, there you go.
Exactly. That's the spirit.
Okay, Jennifer.
So you're no stranger to TV. Growing up, your dad had a famous TV show in
Yes.
Tijuana, and as a morning show. Did you learn any tips or anything, seeing the behind the scenes, and how did you join the Hills with all that learning and stuff?
So it's a little bit of a long answer, but if you guys want it, I can give it to you
Yeah.
guys. Okay, so my dad was like what you could call if it was the KTLA news in the morning. That
Okay.
my dad was the main face, and he was there for 25 years.
Wow.
Wow.
And he was in radio as the announcer in the radio for a lot of years too. Like he would do
Right.
both shows, one at night, like one at 5 o'clock, like in the rush hour traffic, and then the morning show on TV. And it's like it's the big network in Tijuana, so it was like the big
Right.
show. So seeing my dad doing that, I would go with him sometimes. Like in the summertime, I would go with him. I would do commercials for like the Happy Meal for McDonald's, like for the Tijuana version of McDonald's. Like we have
Wow.
our own McDonald's, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's Mexican, so like we would do
Right.
the Happy Meal like radios sponsorships. My dad was in charge of them.
Oh wow.
So I would be the voice of and my sister.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I've been like I've always loved to see the entertainment side of it, but the thing that I caught from my dad, and I think the thing that he taught me the most was kind of like the way that he carried himself out in the public.
Right.
Because you don't see many people that are like TV stars and stuff. So in Tijuana to be like the guy that's on TV, that like he was the guy.
Yeah. It's
Right,
like a
so
big thing.
so we would go to restaurants and there was always people coming up to him and trying to say hi to him, or like, and my dad just handled it like a G. Like he was always like the man. He would like say hi when he didn't want to take up, because by the way, there was no telephones that would take
Right.
pictures, so nobody really had a camera on you when you would go to. So
Right.
there was never like pictures, so it was more like autographs and stuff. So I would see my dad like just handle things so good, and he would always be like really nice to like the waiters, and everybody just loved him, and like, oh, here's like drinks from like that table that they just sent, and I was just there sitting down at me being 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old,
God.
just seeing him kind of like, hey, and he would drink the shot with them or whatever the case was, and it was good. And women would come up to him and say hi to him, like, and my mom was there, and my mom was a G, just like she always stood her ground, and she was like, so it was really cool to see my dad being in that spotlight and seeing him like grow up as like that guy.
Right.
But out there to be that doesn't pay that much. It doesn't change. You're not rich because you do that. So it was kind of like in a way, kind of like a rude awakening. Like you could be this, but you still have no money.
Right.
So we lived in a very like, I would say like in a middle ground of like not rich, not poor, but like small little house, 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom, like, and in Tijuana. So that's but in a better neighborhood, right?
Right.
And growing up with him doing that, I was like, man, I want to be on TV. I want to be an actor. Like I would watch TV and I would watch movies, and I was always like, I want to be on TV. I want to be an actor. Like I always wanted it. So the day that I decided to move to LA, I was like I'm moving here to be an actor. And reality hit, where it ain't that easy.
Right.
You don't just move here and have money and go to acting classes and have a resume and have a manager or agent or anyone that really even believes in you. So like you come out here, you don't have any friends, you don't, like, everything's a no, you don't get the part, you don't get to audition, you don't even get to like have a car. I'm like, damn, like, how do people do this? So I just literally went and started working really hard, and I really liked the nightlife stuff. So I was like, oh, this nightlife world is really cool. And then I started becoming more poppin' and more like I was like the guy to go to the clubs with, and somehow MTV got a hold of me, and they were like, hey, we're doing a TV show, and we want you to be the main guy on the TV show. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, it's a reality TV show called 24/7. It's going to be about 7 friends, and we want to do about you and amongst your other friends. And then my friend Greg Carney, who had already been approached, had already kind of like talked to me about it. So he goes, yo, you guys should be on, like, we should just put our crew and we'll make the show. It became a TV show. It was one of the shows on MTV, and it was like kind of like an entourage show. So that was my first show. So I was on TV first. Then by then I had already met Talon at one of the award shows for MTV. He was doing Laguna Beach. I was doing 24/7, and we became best buds like out of nowhere. So I was a guy. He lived in Laguna Beach, so he would come and visit me in LA, and he was like, "Yo, man, can I move out here to LA with you?" I'm like, "Well, I got an extra room." He's like, "My parents will pay for everything. Like, just let me move here." I'm like, "Aren't you still in high school?" He's like, "No. Like, I'm already 18. I already graduated. Like I'm just there to finish like a couple of GED things or whatever." So he moved with me, and so he started bringing the girls, Lauren, Kristen, and the whole squad to my house. So that was the man that would take them out from the beginning. That led to Lauren being like, "Oh, I'm gonna be on the Hills," and she was like, "You should be on it with me." And me and her, by the way, since that day have been like the bestest of friends.
That's awesome.
So that's how I got into the Hills.
Wow.
But that's the long story.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A lot of ups and downs through that whole thing, but yeah.
And you're still, from what we understand, are friends with Lauren, and your wife is actually friends with her as well.
Yes, I introduced them, but they've grown their own friendship, and they have their little thing called the Little Market.
Yes.
Yeah, and my wife is a very big supporter of that, and they're always like doing their little parties, and they will hang out, and it's really cool to see my wife become friends with her, because at the beginning my wife was like, "Oh, you're going to Cabo with Lauren Connor." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to Cabo with her. She's my friend. She's one of my best friends in the world." Like,
yeah.
And to now, like, they're trying to go on their own trips, you know, like, invite me, I'm still here.
Aww. Is there any chance of seeing Lauren on the reboot?
From your mouth to God's ears.
Thank you. Because I'm waiting.
Me too. I love her. I wish, but I think she's moved on to bigger, better things, and she's got her own little family, and she's just doing amazing. So if she ever wants, obviously, I think everybody would welcome her back with open arms.
Yeah, as they should.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're gonna get into predictions now. It's a segment we do every week where we
AfterBuzz TV prediction.
where we predict what might happen on next week's episode. So, Rivette, if you want to go.
Yes, I think we're going to get another Audrina and Stephanie showdown. I don't think that's the last of them that we'll see.
Okay.
Done. I think we're awaiting a blowout between Spencer and Stephanie, because we obviously know that they're not in a great place. So.
Okay.
I want to know what's going to happen with Lindsay and Justin. Are we going to see her again next week? I need to know. I need to know.
Okay, since you already know what's going on in the show, what do you predict for...
I don't.
Well, okay, but you lived it. You lived the show. So what are you predicting for season 2?
I don't know if you know this, but in every episode, unless it's a party, they don't really include me in the other stuff. So, what do I predict? I think, I really think that Brody's going to stay handsome. Justin's going to have that little bad boy to him. Mm-hmm. Brandon, you're going to see him flourish from this little boy to this man. Audrina's going to... There might be more tears. That's my prediction. Stephanie, there might be some, like, funny stuff coming on with her. And Spencer, there will be some crystals in the future.
Yes. That's amazing.
I've been watching as you guys are watching, and some things are new to me. So like when I see, I'm like, oh, when did that happen? How come they didn't invite me to play tennis? Like I want to play tennis.
Aww, that's sad.
I want to go to the beach.
You can come with us.
I wanted to go to that party, Brandon and then threw at their house. They didn't invite me.
You weren't invited?
I wasn't invited.
Aw.
This is messed up.
That's messed up because I invited him to everything.
I know.
I'm inviting you guys to my next party.
Thank
We're gonna be there.
Okay, thank you so much for being on here with us tonight. This was so much fun.
It was.
You're the best.
It was a great time.
We're all Team Frankie Delgado.
Finally.
Until next week, where can we find everyone on social media?
You can find me at Rivette Sorrel on all social media platforms.
At Eric Sinsley.
At Jen_Lopez89.
I'm at Lauren T. Pacheco. And Frankie, where can everyone find you?
At King Frankie Delgado.
Yes.
All right.
Follow me.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.